Hi, I'm Phil.
And I'm Jane.
Welcome to Unhinged and Bumbled Up,
the relatable dating podcast.
That's another thing, because obviously we won't be back until next year now, 2022. Have you got any New Year's resolutions that you're going to make, or...? Hello and welcome to Unhinged and Bumbled Up. I'm Phil, she's Jane, and today is the season finale.
Oh, I can't believe how fast this season has gone.
It's been 3 months.
Yes.
3 months.
And we spoke to so many amazing guests, and I feel like we have learned so much from just speaking to these guests, but also we've learned a lot from our listeners as well, who have wrote in to Unhinged and Bumble Up. So yeah, it's been a great 3 months.
It has. It's been amazing. Now, what has been your best bits?
Well,
most favorite episode?
Well, obviously my episode.
Oh, okay. Apart from your episode, we can't be biased on this one. Who was your favorite guest or favorite episode?
Do you know what? Because every single guest is completely different, I've learned something from each one. But
yeah,
Saskia really stood out for me because it was all about how a change in one image can totally change if you're doing online dating, for example, or even pictures for your social media, how that can totally change someone's perception.
Yeah.
I've been since that episode, I have been speaking to all my single friends who are doing online dating and not doing very well, and I'm saying, change your photos about and just see what it does. And it has worked. It's crazy.
Yeah.
So that really was a really interesting thing, because so many of us use old photos, or we use photos that are we think are nice, but if you ask just a friend or a family member, what do you think of this photo, they'll give you the honest truth. So I thought that was a really fascinating episode, because Saskia really goes out there to make your photos really fun, engaging, intriguing, which is what you need.
Yeah.
What's your favorite episode?
Oh, there's too many to choose from.
I know, they're also like, I've loved every single guest.
See, I loved the episode with Abby Medcalf.
She's unbelievable.
That was just so high energy, and it was
so high energy. It made me realize I need to be more energetic.
More energetic. When the boyfriend comes in, you go,
give him a hug at the door. Yeah.
Yes, yeah. But then again, I also loved Orsa's episode, especially because we found out how bad you were at drawing.
Oh God, don't remind me. Don't remind me. I'm gonna I think for next year, my new goal for 2022 would be to learn to draw. Just so I can beat you.
TikTok's got amazing things to teach you how to draw.
Okay, there we are.
Yeah, a little second. Yeah, just jump on that. But yeah, I want to thank all our guests, obviously, because all our guests were amazing, and I still can't believe that we're at end of season 2. It's just flown by.
Yeah, and we also had Clara, who is she's still on her dating journey, where she's trying to date, is it 80
she was trying to go on 80 dates 80 dates around the UK.
So I think she's in the 50s at the moment. I've been trying to follow her, so
I think she's going on second dates now, isn't she?
Oh right, okay.
Yeah, I think that's how it's going.
That was really fascinating, because she'll have so many amazing stories from that.
Exactly. Oh, dating disasters. That brings us to the dating disasters. Like, we've had so many of those as well.
Yeah, they'll. That's the thing. Like, dating disasters are going to be that's just a normal thing. Everyone has them.
Yeah. What was your favorite game that we played?
Well, definitely not the drawing one.
Not the drawing one.
I liked the game when we had the episode with Jason. So Jason Birdie, who was chatting to us about being in a narcissistic relationship. I loved his game, so it was all about the different sexualities.
Yes, we
Because it
learned a lot on
opens.
that.
Yeah, we learned so much just in a game,
Yes.
which is a fun game, but we learned so much about, that's it, like different sexualities out there, which, I didn't know about,
Yeah. See, I enjoyed the photo one. The photo one was good.
which I should have won, to be
Yeah,
honest.
you shouldn't have won the photo one. You're like, oh, I should have won them all, but
I
no.
should have won it based on my picture with the alpaca.
Yeah, but then you had people in the background. You didn't photo check that.
Yeah.
uh,
And then
so
having your mum on was very interesting.
having my mum on,
Yeah.
yeah, having my mum on. That episode came out last week. For anyone that
Yeah.
hasn't listened, yeah, it was interesting having my mum on. I
Your
don't know
mum's-
whether she's listened to her episode yet.
Your mum's just very calm, and when I was speaking to her, I just felt like this sense of feeling so relaxed, and that's what I guess, what she does. It's like, bring that process into your relationship, communicate, and don't
Mhm.
rise to an argument. Just try and talk it out.
Yeah, massively. We've got a surprise guest on. We've got your mum just about to come on.
Ha ha ha. I literally, my heart went a bit weird there.
No, that's season 3, everyone. That's
Absolutely
season
not.
3.
No
When
way.
we do the big ta-da!
I have a book, and don't be ashamed of me.
Live confessions on the podcast.
That's
Yeah.
it.
So yeah, we've got a lot of other things to talk about, haven't we? So obviously, coming up next season, we will have more dating apps to talk about. I think we've got Blink coming on next season, haven't we? Which
Yes.
is a dating app based on the voice rather than the image. Yeah, and then many other guests.
There are lots of interesting guests lined up, so we'll keep it a wee surprise just now. But
Yeah,
definitely stay with us because we've got great people to speak to.
yeah, and then we've got this big thing coming up. In a couple of weeks called Christmas. I don't know if you've heard of it.
Last Christmas, I actually I felt in the whole of the lockdown pandemic, I felt I learned lots about myself, but I was also very lonely. I'm watching all these couples do TikTok dances. I'm insanely jealous. Like, oh, I want to find someone I can do a dance with. I can see them do cute date nights. I mean, I know people put things on socials that are always going to show the nice moments.
Yeah.
I've had friends who thought lockdown was hellish with their partner because they couldn't get any space. But yeah, there's something about Christmas where I just love that thought of romance, holding hands with someone, walking through the Christmas markets. So it's nice that I get to experience that this year.
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward
definitely.
to that.
But if you're single this year, don't worry.
Absolutely, yeah. Do not worry one bit. What tips would you give to our listeners that are single and maybe feeling a bit lonely at Christmas?
Spend time with friends, family, do things for yourself. Go buy yourself a present. Wrap it up and, treat yourself and basically enjoy it. You don't need somebody. The thing is, you can live your life as a single person until you find the right person, I think that's one of the things that people are like, oh, I need someone for Valentine's Day. I need someone for Christmas. I need someone for this. But you don't.
Absolutely not.
Just enjoy your life. It's an adventure. It's a roller coaster full of ups and downs. And yeah.
And I think when you are single, that's when you learn about yourself the most, what you want from somebody else. If that's the direction you want to go, if you do want a relationship, being single makes you realize your wants and your needs and what you won't accept.
Yeah, and it's finding yourself first and making sure you're ready and actually loving yourself a little bit. Because I find when you love yourself and you enjoy yourself and you can accept yourself, then you can find someone easier. You're in a much better place, and that person brings value to you, kind of thing. It doesn't complete you, just adds value. So, yeah. What would your tip for Christmas be?
Yeah, get involved with fun activities that are out there with your friends. So you go to the
Mhm.
Christmas market with your friends, go ice skating if there's ice skating. As I mentioned before in a previous episode, there's an amazing app called Meet Up, MEETUP, and that's for people who are in similar situations where they are single, maybe not even looking for a relationship, maybe just looking to attend something and to meet other people, whether it's for
Yeah.
friendship or relationships. That's a great app to do things with other people. Recently, my friend, she went on a hike with this app. And again, people are just all individuals, and they just want to go with someone else in a safe environment. And they do lots of things like cinema outings, theatre outings. So it's a really fun thing. You'll never feel lonely if you're part of that group.
No, and there's plenty of time to join up on that one
And there's loads of
before
workshops
Christmas.
as well. There's loads of workshops out there. And what you'll find is a lot of people go to these workshops on their own too. So
Yeah.
it's great. I mean, my friend has just recently done a wreath making class. So
Nice.
yeah, and she went there on her own and she met loads of people and she just said it was so fun. And she's met
Yeah.
a group of girls that she's like, we're all single. She's like, we're all going to hang out and go for mulled wine. So it's just putting yourself out there. That's the hardest bit. But once you do it, you won't regret it.
And I think with things like that is it's a clean slate. It's a fresh start. It's nobody knows you, and you just can be you.
Absolutely.
Whereas with other people that you already know, people from the past, they know a lot about you. Whereas you can go in, you can be the fresh, happy self that you are now, and meet new people.
Yeah.
Yeah,
What my sister says is she's always saying, all my friends are in relationships. I don't want to ask them to do stuff because they're always busy with their partners. Like that, I said to my sister, ask them because most of the time they're wanting to get away from their partners.
yeah.
That's all in her head. I said, you've just like you think that, but you won't know until you reach out. A lot of people are saying, yes, oh my gosh, let's go out for a drink or dinner. So if you think you're the only single person, like don't fret. Like ask your friends who are in relationships, and I'm sure if they're a true friend, they'd be more than happy to catch up.
Communication is key.
Yeah.
In
I feel
every
like
aspect
I
of
feel like
life.
I feel like our hoodies should say like communication is key somewhere.
We're gonna get one. We'll get some more merch. Communication is key.
Or
100%
you could
agree.
just get a
And
tattoo since you like your tattoos.
I don't know if I'll go that far. I might get a unhinged and mumbled up logo somewhere.
Okay.
There we go. I'll do that for charity. If we raise enough money for charity, I will get
Amazing.
our logo tattooed on. So yeah, maybe let's talk about our journey now through obviously this year and how much our lives have probably changed.
Yeah, of course.
I'll let you go first.
Okay. I guess this year I've been really focusing on my book since I published it. It was out end of May. And it's been, my main focus to try and get people to read it and just get as much feedback to, so I've got, enough content for book two. And also this is the year where I got into a relationship, and that's again new for me. I've been single for years and years and years. I've had on-off relationships, but I haven't been in a relationship since I was 18 years old. So, it's all new to me. But I feel like I'm so ready for this relationship. I don't know if it's because I'm older now. I don't know if it's because I have had so many dating disasters that I now know what I want, but also because I've spoke to so many people with, doing this podcast, it really helps you build and develop your relationship.
Yeah, massively.
What have you learned from this?
Oh, geez. I've learned that I can do a podcast. Didn't know that, like 9 months back in March.
And you're amazing at editing as well. You're great. And TikTok.
And TikTok. Yeah, TikTok. I've learned not to judge something by what others say. For example, TikTok. Everybody to me was saying TikTok's for like 14, 15-year-olds, blah, 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 stay off the app, everything like that. And yeah, for properly the first time this year, I'm actually dating someone now who I met off TikTok.
I
So
love this.
yeah, I put up the boyfriend application. So if you haven't seen that, I put up a boyfriend application. I thought I'd get two or three comments. That's it. I ended up with I think it's 85,000 views. I think it was something
That's
around 8,000 likes and
wow.
600 comments.
That's amazing.
Yeah, I was just like, oh, what do I do now?
So
So
it's
I
like
went through all the comments.
it's like a new way of dating.
Yeah, it's a dating app, which isn't a dating app. Yeah. Well, really, you can make everything a dating app, can't you?
Mhm.
That's what a lot of people have told me. So yeah, we've had a few dates. We've got a few more dates planned, and yeah, it's
And that's
exciting
the thing,
because
you just put yourself out there, which I love because TikTok can be quite a daunting thing because, obviously you've got to make your videos interesting and people are seeing you for you. So like, I think it's such a cool platform. I think you've got to be quite confident, but even if you're not, if as soon as you put yourself out there, it just shows you like amazing things can happen.
it massively brings out confidence. It's like, do you know? I was saying before, and a lot of people that probably follow us on Instagram know that I've always struggled with lives. I can't do Instagram lives, could not do it. Went onto TikTok, fresh start, clean slate, nobody knew me, went on lives, and literally I'm on live pretty much most nights now. And I built up this massive community of
Yeah.
people that are just like it's kind of like a company as well because you're just
Mhm.
chatting to them, they're chatting away, they're chatting to each other, and yeah, it's like raised my confidence with lives no end. So
And
it
that's the
has done
thing,
really good.
because you're enjoying it, you're so right. It's like a community. You feel excited to go on it. So I love that.
Yeah. So yes, so we will see what happens with the dating. Obviously, you'll find out next year. If I come back really happy, then ta-da! If I come back a bit like, ooh, she doesn't listen to the podcast, so she
would
doesn't
you would
know.
you let her listen to the
I've
podcast?
said she could if she wants to. I don't know. It's like thinking about it. Um, I'm very open anyway. I'm an open book,
Mhm.
so I don't think there's anything that I've said in the podcast that I wouldn't want her to know anyway.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'd be fine with her listening to it. I just think that she's a bit like, oh, maybe not. So maybe she will, maybe she won't. But um, her brothers actually listen to the podcast.
Oh my goodness.
And her brother said to her, turn around
Stay
to
stay away. Stay away
no,
from
no,
him.
no, no. He said, if Phil's anything like he is on the podcast, you two will get on amazingly.
Well,
So
there we
yeah,
are. You've got the family back.
I have the family. Yeah, the
Yeah.
family
Family
approval, the
support.
big tick done. Yeah, so it's been an eventful year. I mean, lockdown and then coming out of lockdown and then
Because lockdown
yeah.
it was so tough. It was either cause tension if you were in a relationship and you were living together. Even if you weren't living together, it caused tension because you're trying to work out, am I even allowed to see you? Or
Hmm.
you have to form a social bubble. And then if you were single, your only option was pretty much online because you're not allowed to go anywhere. So it was a very difficult time for I think all of us, I don't think
Yeah.
there's one person that would say like they loved it.
No,
Everyone had
I'm,
their struggles.
I mean, you got people that got into turbo relationships quite quickly, which I'm not sure. I think some of them probably have worked and probably some of them haven't. I'm not sure. But yeah, it was difficult. And it seems to be never ending. You know, and hopefully we get to Christmas where we can spend it with people this year and, good old Bojo doesn't decide last minute to go, oh yeah, maybe not, you know.
I know, I know. Well, we're actually me and my boyfriend have planned our first holiday abroad. So I'm praying that there's no crazy rules because we're off to America. So fingers crossed it goes smoothly.
That's another thing because obviously we won't be back until next year now, 2022. Have you got any New Year's resolutions that you're going to make, or are you not one for those?
Oh, I'm all about goal setting. Yeah, my list is like always so long. I definitely want to start writing my second book. I'd also like to get a publisher for my first book.
Any
Um,
publishers out there, listen up, please.
Please, please. I want to get better at TikTok. Obviously, I speak to you all the time. Like, is this video okay to put up?
It's all right. Yeah, put it
So
up.
I want to get to the point where I don't have to annoy you and nag you to check over my videos.
It's fine. I
Um,
can do that for as long as needed.
and what's your goals for next year?
My goals for next year, looking at buying a house, fingers crossed, and starting a business. So, starting a creative workshop. So basically, anybody that's interested in podcasting or anyone that's creative or anything like that, I'm going to open up a business where I'll have a couple of podcast studios, TikTok studio, photography studio, and then loads of work area for people just to come in and be creative together and actually come together, do some workshops, stuff like that.
That's
So
fantastic.
yeah, big goals, big goals.
That's it. I think as it was one of our guests. Now I can't remember who it was who was talking about visualization. I think it was
Abby,
Abby. Yep.
it was
Okay,
Abby.
that's it. Yep, Abby.
Yeah,
And it's like, yeah, you can think about your goals, but the best thing to do is write it down or have pictures on a vision board, but put what you want to feel. So how, if you
yeah,
see that picture, put next to it the emotion you want to feel if you get that, or not if you are going to get that. So,
yeah.
I think we should both do that. Like, I'm
We'll
all
get
about
pictures.
vision boards, but put the feelings onto
Yeah,
it.
we'll put some feelings. We'll feel what those images give to us. But
Yeah.
yeah, it's been great. It's been amazing. And yeah, like 3 months ago, didn't even know you.
I know. I feel like we know each other so well, and it's like
Well,
we've only met. We met once in person.
yeah, it was
I
at
think it was
Leeds, wasn't it?
once. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, when I was at Leeds Festival, and I think you gave me a lift.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's so nice to be alongside you because it's nice to get the male perspective.
Yeah. Yeah. And we try not to what we always try not to do is try not to make it gender specific on
Hmm.
anything. And if we
Hmm.
do, we balance it out with the other side as well. Because the problem with dating is everybody is going through the same thing.
Hmm.
So, but as a man, I only used to see the man's side of you. So everything that a woman did wrong. And as a woman, Jane only saw what men did wrong.
Yeah.
Whereas opening up and coming on this podcast talking about dating, we realize that both things kind of go both ways. It's
Hmm.
like men ghost, men cheat, women
Yeah.
cheat, and everything goes for both genders. So,
And your mum made a really interesting point about actually, if you sometimes the issue you think it's the other person, but actually might be you, and you just don't realize.
yeah,
And she made that great point is people come to her. And it's not until she's speaking to them that they actually it's like a light bulb goes off and they're like, oh my goodness, actually, I'm actually the issue.
yeah,
So,
sometimes it can be your fault. And I feel that if it is your fault, it's been my fault many times before, but I've been younger and been like, no, it's easy to blame them. It's all their fault. When really, if I stand up and look back now, I'm like, no, that has been my fault. And I'm going to learn from that. I'm going to grow from that. And I'm going to change, and I think that's a much healthier option than continually blaming someone else.
yes,
Yeah.
absolutely.
So we've got to the point. Final thoughts. Our final thoughts of 2021.
My final thoughts is I would love to hear from more listeners about who they specifically want as a guest on the podcast. We really want to get the most interesting people for you. So my final thoughts is I'm so glad that I am part of this podcast. I love it. I'm so nosy now. I feel like every time we chat to guests, I want to know every single detail.
Yeah.
So thank you so much for getting me involved.
Well,
I've
thank you for
loved it.
being here. Yeah. No, my final thoughts. that I couldn't have done it without you. That's one of them. Two, listeners, get involved. We want more interaction from you. We want you to drop us your dating disasters. Let us know any topics you want covering and stuff like that. And also, we've got merch on sale as well. So that is available on, well, either you go on Instagram and you can click and it will lead you to our Etsy store. Yeah. So yeah, we've got all different merch available.
And also, I think it'd be good to hear from listeners if they receive any bad gifts over Christmas from partners. We would love to know your bad gifts.
Yes, bad gifts and great gifts. Let's balance it out. Give us both.
Okay.
So yeah, what we're doing over the break, we are going to give you our Patreon episodes, so you don't miss us too much. So next week you'll have Patreon episode for the next, I think it's 6 weeks we're off. We might come back for my birthday. I'm not sure. We'll see. We'll see how we feel. But yeah, we'll be giving you episodes. So if you weren't involved in Patreon, then you can listen to the Extra Swipe episodes until we come back. And then we will give you a proper date of when we're coming back. But we'll see how long of a break we want to take. So thank you, everybody. And thank you, Jane, for being a part of it.
Thank you.
And one final time for this year, actually, Merry Christmas and a
Christmas.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. We'll see you next year.
See you next year. Bye,
Bye.
everyone.
Thank you for listening.
If you want to find out more, you can follow us at Unhinged and Mumbled Up, or
Swipe forever after.
and if you want to send us an email or check out our website, it is www.uadu.co.uk. Thank you. Goodbye.
Bye.